nervous. I'm a survivor, collapsed on a planet deserted. That's the word like a $10,000 pyramid scheme. Changing the face of the game like the Swarm medical team. Lead troopers, a league supreme. Rest your luck with sleep, go home. The biggest loser, huh? I'll have the last laugh like the last comic standing. Make it the band play as you walk up stage empty-handed. And I'm taking home America's next top model. Back to the bachelor pad, show us some. Newspaper boy, dog, fetch me my slippers. Feed me, do the dishes if you need me. Everybody's so emo, everyone expects emotion. While I'm holding on to long-term solution to that notion that everything must go, be shown off, be bad, be thrown into the lions as if the crowd cared. Some are born like us, most are born like them. Some will live to the fullest, some will die in the system. See, I admire the mission, acquire the license to listen with the fire to. So where's my welfare? Where's my healthcare? Where's my sandwich? There's my sandwich. So spin doctors spinning. Old white men grinning. Power to devour and do its bidding. Can you think of a single thing you've done that's meant anything, anything at all? I know I'll probably take the fall. I was going in circles till I hit the wall. Can you think of a single thing you've done that's meant anything, anything at all? I know I'll probably take the fall. I was going in circles till I hit the wall. I'm absolutely sure one day I'll settle down, find a special spot, a best gallons of milk. I've got trees growing, got a flower garden going, couple herbs for the cooking, couple more for the. Got a hammock for the swinging, fresh tomatoes for the salad. It'll compliment the burger straight cooking on the grill. Still a myself so stupid I can't walk home alone. No. Need a shoulder to lean on. I mean, so you gotta fire.
The Spurs play before the hometown crowd here live in San Antonio, Texas. Pistons coming to town, hoping to notch this one here in this one-game road trip.
Well, I tell you what, Kevin, the streak has been very difficult as this team has struggled of late, and the struggles may continue. They've got a really tough challenge against this team.
Yeah, and if they're going to snap that losing streak, what better way to do it than against an opponent like these guys? I mean, that be doing it in style.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Pistons, Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then it's Johnson.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Morris with the bucket. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. It's Parker with the drive. And it's sent back by Drummond. And here's Jackson. Scoring-wise, he's definitely making his mark. Right now, he's averaging about 19 points a game. And it's going to be a 3-second call. Last game for the Spurs. They want to turn it around after the loss to the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
You know what? That's a game where the coach might just want to burn the video because there's no question they're a better team than what we saw, but they got crushed on that night.
And I'm still trying to figure out what happened there, Greg, quite honestly. I mean, no matter how it looks on paper, you still got to show up and play and compete. And it looked like they were not interested in being there.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
My goodness, he sure can't get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're right.
I tell you what, he is an imposing finisher around the rim. He makes it look a little too easy.
The Pistons shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Now here is Aldridge. As you can see from his numbers, he's been a key component in their offense. He's averaging almost 18 points a game.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Well, as Greg was talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
Parker double-teamed. Green kicks to Aldridge. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Guarded by Green. The dish to Morris. And he makes good on the layup. Morris has got his second bucket of the night.
I'll tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
And here comes Jackson leading the fast break.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league. You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And a different look here for the Pistons. Spurs trail by 8. Mills passes to Diaw. It's Martin on the wing. Here's West. In the corner, it's Martin. And it's Martin again missing. For Detroit, they've gone a perfect 6 for 6 in the game up to this point. Shot from 12. Hits the front of the rim and out. Pistons leading by 8. To the paint. Baines inside. West is there. It's stolen by West. Here's the break. Here's Mills. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Terrific job on both ends of that sequence. Very slick steal and then excellent transition offense.
And really, it all stems from the aggressive defense. That's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Baines inside. West is there. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. The Pistons shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. First free throw is good. He makes 1 of 2 that time. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Left side, Martin. Meeks with the steal. Here's Harris. Rebound, San Antonio. Their last meeting was in this building where they were able to come out on top.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
Yeah, it was really simple. I mean, you look at the numbers they did.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Pistons lead by 7. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Detroit.
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
Mills and Manu at the guards. Aldridge out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Green in at the small forward position. That's the San Antonio 5.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
On the wing, Johnson. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Just 3 to shoot. The feed to Caldwell Pope. And it's sent back by Aldridge. As we close in on the start of the playoffs, let's see how the East is stacking up. Taking a look at Cleveland. And, of course, the Spurs tied up with them. The Spurs making a switch here. Parker's checked in. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
Here's Drummond. Misses the one-handed jam. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Parker's running. Pistons lead by 7. Here's Johnson. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Johnson's got 6 points.
And you look at the Spurs and how they avoid losing streaks. I mean, most teams losing 4 in a row wouldn't be such a big deal. It's only a big deal for the Spurs because they're so consistent year in and year out.
Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Leonard. And the Pistons making a change here. The Spurs shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And guys, for the Spurs, a big reason they rarely go on losing streaks is that they have no bad matchups. One of only 3 teams in the NBA last year to defeat every other NBA team. Winning for this group is just second nature.
Shot clock at 2. Here's Drummond. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. There's Green with the 3. San Antonio again missing.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
And Drummond kicks to Jackson. Pistons passing it around. And Drummond throws it down.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And nothing to be ashamed about in that game. It was a great effort, I thought, all around. They just needed to have 1 or 2 breaks go their way.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, both teams I thought played well enough to win the ball game, and yet it doesn't work out that way. There are no ties, so unfortunately they were the ones who came up short.
A different look now for San Antonio. David West, he's checked in for Aldridge. Kyle Anderson comes in for Daniel Green. And Martin subbed in for Manu Ginobili. Blake kicks to Baines. They set the pick. Misses off the right iron.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside. That's just an ill-advised pass. You know, I can't say I'm all that surprised it wound up out of bounds. It was a poor decision to make that pass.
Spurs trail by 6. And Parker, here we go. And it's blocked. The Pistons have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Feeds to Bullock to the left side wing. Dinwiddie. Shot is off. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. Here's Anderson. And he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Blake kicks to Caldwell Pope. Pass to Dinwiddie. 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Duncan. Oh, and here comes Anderson all alone. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and trigger the fast break.
And now just a one-possession game thanks to that quick hitter. Outstanding play in the open court.
And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. The Pistons shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. The first free throw is good. And the Spurs with some changes. Diaw comes in for Duncan. That's Mills in for Parker. So he gets them both. Here's Mills. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Diaw.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
And it's on a bounce to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
San Antonio making a switch here. Leonard's checked in. And a different look here for the Pistons. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Reggie Bullock. Harris comes in for Caldwell Pope. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's Jackson in for Steve Blake.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Here's Jackson. There's the pick. Takes the 3. Can't hit. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. It's Detroit leading by just 2. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Andre Drummond with a strong contribution so far in this one.
I tell you what, though, it's going to be important to see if they can slow him down in the second half, because so far they have not had anybody that can disrupt his rhythm down low.
Well, how about guys mixing up the looks? I mean, bump him out a little bit, front him, double him, anything to try to get him off his rhythm.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Andre Drummond with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Checking out the group for Stan Van Gundy to start the second half. They've got Drummond. Marcus Morris is out there with Johnson. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Back to Johnson. Down low. And Drummond throws it down.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finished hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one.
And here's Green outside. Again, the miss by Green. Dishes to Morris. Finished off the break. And it's a 4-point Piston lead.
You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. Didn't even have to break stride.
San Antonio calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
The Pistons making a change here. Caldwell Pope's checked in. Here's Leonard, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Inside. Here's Drummond. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Good, just like soup. A little more ferocious, though.
Okay, Clark approves, everybody.
Yeah, but that's how you finish strong. Young fella's wearing the rim out.
Outside for Jackson. And the pass to Caldwell Pope. 6 on the shot clock. And here's Morris for 3. San Antonio with the rebound.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Well, I tell you, he squeezed that orange as tight as he could before that throwdown.
Yeah, no way he was going to lose that thing on the way up. You're right, Clark.
And better safe than sorry on that one, guys.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
He's checked in for San Antonio. Ginobili comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Johnson, he's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. To the middle. Here's Drummond. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
He's off on the second. And Stanley Johnson is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. It's Anderson with the drive. Aldridge. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
At the line for your Spurs.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
He has such terrific form and consistency on his free throws. Beautiful to watch.
For Detroit, they've gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Jackson kicks to Morris. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. West comes in for Green, and it's Mills in for Parker. Johnson attacking. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. And that one's good. Drummond.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Ginobili kicks to Aldridge. Anderson inside. He's guarded by Johnson. Anderson's shot is off.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Spurs trail by 4. Hills with it. Guarded now by Jackson. It's deflected. Morris outside. Mills with the steal. And now the fast break Anderson with the ball. Shots good by Mills. Mills has got his second basket of the game.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Jackson against Ginobili. Out to the right wing. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Kicks it to Ginobili. Mills in the corner. Anderson dishes to West. Outside, Ginobili. Rebound, Andre Drummond. Drummond's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Outside, Jackson. He dishes it to Drummond. Morris outside. Down low. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on David West. The Pistons have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
At the line for 2.
First one falls for. And both free throws good for Drummond. Now Mills. Here's Duncan. Off on that one. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Pistons lead by 6. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Down low, it's the veterans Diaw and Duncan. Martin is out there with Parker. And it's Leonard in the small forward. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. And Meeks kicks to Tolliver. Meeks passes to Baines. Johnson gets the bucket. Johnson's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for Detroit.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead.
That doesn't go either for Duncan.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
Here's Johnson. Another miss by Johnson.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Here's Diaw. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
Consistency all game long. He's going to continue, I think, to have to take it over to get them back in the game.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Thanks again, Doris. Spurs trail by 8. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Leonard, that's for two. Offensive rebound, Spurs. Parker dishes to Duncan. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback.
Yeah, and if you look at it, had they been converting those second chances all along instead of waiting until now, who knows?
Clock at 6. The three. And it's Bullock missing. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Tim Duncan.
And didn't have to go strong there. Just a little bit of the finger roll to get it up over the D.
Detroit's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Duncan against Drummond. He feeds it to Blake. Guarded by Green.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Detroit.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets.
Mills, he's checked in for the Spurs. Then for the Pistons, Marcus Morris is checked in for Reggie Bullock. Johnson comes in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jackson in for Steve Blake.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Morris kicks to Johnson. .125 left to play in the final quarter. The Pistons working the ball around now. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
He hits the first one, and that trims the lead to 6. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point. Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
Drummond with a screen on Aldridge. Jackson passes to Drummond. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Pistons.
I agree, Steve, and this is a game where the defense, Clark Steele specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created extra possessions for him too, Kevin. Scoring opportunities they cashed in on, and that effort a big part of what will be a nice victory tonight.
And so checking out their season record, this game will become their 45th win.
And tonight they take their first game of this highly anticipated 4-game season series. They now have 1 game remaining on the year and try to even things up against the Spurs.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Andre Drummond. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Johnson dishes to Drummond. Johnson kicks to Morris. 6 to shoot. Pass to Johnson. The feed to Drummond. Meeks inside the three-point line. Got it off in time and beat the shot clock, but it's no good. And so the Pistons take the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that about does it for the final game of the NBA regular season. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And this broadcast has not ended just yet, as we've got the award-winning Ernie Johnson standing by here for the postgame show.
São Paris, São Paulo, França, Brasil. Aí, MSP, Laboratório Fantasma. É nóis.
Os manos no posto, trampando a contragosto, feliz ou oposto. Aposto que sei da dureza, que é a tristeza, deformando o seu rosto. Se calos falassem, talvez o mundo escutasse, olhar do impasse, olhasse, limpasse, brilhavam vocês. Juro, pras minas no fronte, que dor pra contar tem de monte. É tipo uma fonte dela, de fronte ela sonha com um novo horizonte. Trancada na cela ou numa favela, essa é foda, João. Pobre menina, sofre de verdade por toda a cidade. Ainda mais porque a palavra liberdade é feminina. Cidade luz, guetos, becos e pretos tristes como um blues. Mano, muçulmano, amor, islã. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. Mil flor, mil cor, mil idioma, mil cor, tipo índio. Tio por, servos de Roma, frios por natureza morta. Legalité pour mon père, s'il vous plaît. Mil pra mim, mil pro select. Ma révolution é black, noir, check. Em matière, meilleur que hier. Ma terre me manque, c'est ma place. E o velho sonho, viver em paz. Com o necessário, sem ter demais. Verde, mais verde, mais verde, mais família.
Welcome to the Palace of Auburn Hills. We're in suburban Detroit, the home of the Pistons, where we'll be broadcasting today's game live. Looking at the last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a loss to Portland. They had a chance there right up to the end. They only lost by 3.
Just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but all of those misses from the stripe clearly had an impact on that game.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Redick and Crawford, the sharpshooters outside. Griffin is out there with Green, and it's Paul in at the 1 spot. And the Pistons with possession here. It's a 3-point game. Shot clock at 6. Doubled by Crawford. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. And the basket good.
That is a very low percentage shot, Kevin, but it's the result they were looking for at the end of the day.
Jackson kicks to Morris. Back to Jackson. Pass to Drummond. Drummond with another miss.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir. Los Angeles has gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And the Pistons with possession here. The Clippers getting the bucket. 6 to shoot. Kicks it out to Johnson. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Jeff Green picks one up.
In Detroit with a 32-50 record last season, they didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Brady, you just said the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15 and 29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Johnson. Jackson's got his first points of the night.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Here's Jackson after the basket by Los Angeles. Morris outside. Drummond dishes to Johnson. Soft touch off the glass. Johnson's got 7.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
Yeah, it's just hard to make up when you have an inability to make free throws consistently, and that's why they ended up losing.
Yes, sir. I think some doubt started to creep in when they kept missing those foul shots. I mean, you could see them start to shy away from wanting to even go to the line.
And really, the last few seasons, the Clippers have been one of the most consistently strong teams in the league. A far cry from when they were a bottom feeder back in the day. They have become one of the premier franchises in the NBA.
And a different look here for the Pistons. Pistons trailed by 3. Greg, as you said about the Clippers, the days of finishing near the bottom every year are over. Clark, a lot of that is Doc Rivers.
Exactly. Since 2012, Kevin, they've had the 3rd best record in the NBA. A lot of loyal fans stuck it out with the team during the dark days, and now they're reaping the fruit.
Not good shot selection, long range, and the defender all up in your jersey.
And, you know, that's just the kind of defensive work he's known for. I mean, he can take that shot away from you and does it more times than not. Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Here's Griffin. Some solid defense from Harris. For Detroit, they've gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Boy, they're going on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing. And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
Here's Green. Here's Paul. And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. The Clippers on top, leading by just 1. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And So far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Clippers.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Green is out there with Crawford. And it's Griffin in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Chris Paul again. Paul's got 4 points in the quarter.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively. And this lead, I think, is headed up.
There's Crawford with the three. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Johnson outside. The dish to Drummond. Griffin with the steal. Shoots the three. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jeff Green. That'll be his second foul of the game. A different look here for Detroit. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Drummond. And it's Jody Meeks in for Johnson.
And Coach Doc Rivers wears multiple hats for this organization. Not only is he the head coach, but also in charge of all basketball operations. Really the leader in a lot of ways for this team.
Crawford kicks to Paul. It's good for his fourth bucket of the night. He's shooting 4 of 8.
And started hot, and he's only gotten harder.
Paul against Jackson. Near the three-point line, it's Morris. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Oh! Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say they're up now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
You know what? I think he had to call timeout right now just to get his guys to regroup because they were really ragged out there.
Yeah, they've got to get some things straightened out. And sometimes the best way to do that is with a timeout. They look to be overwhelmed right now.
Blake with it, defended by Paul. Here's Harris. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Harris has got 8 points.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Here's Paul. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved a layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Over to the left wing. Blake for 3. And that one's good. Blake's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul.
And now a chance, Kevin, to see how the last month has fared for the Clippers. Second in steals. 4th in second chance points. And they're in the top 10 in rebounding. This is a team that does a good job getting on the glass.
And going back to their steals ranking, you have to appreciate the quick hands. I mean, the ball's never safe when they're on the prowl. And I think that mentality is what bothers opponents.
There is no way a player like him can be left wide open like that. Did you pay attention to the scouting report?
Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles leads cut down to 6 on the bucket from Baines. Here's Paul. It's tipped. Here's Caldwell Pope. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Blake kicks to Harris. Inside. And stolen by Reddick. On, here we go. Crawford all alone.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Harris outside. Here's Baines. The shot misses. Nice D from Griffin. Paul for 3. And another 3 for the Clippers.
This is tough to stop if you're the defense. I mean, they've been absolutely on fire from behind that three-point line, and the way they space the floor, it's hard to get to those shooters.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. To the inside. Griffin with the steal. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Crawford passes to Paul. Reddick is in the corner. From deep. The shot misses. And so we wrap up the first half. Clippers lead by 11. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
You know, we talk so often about making your teammates better, and his ability to see the floor and then make those passes on time in that first half was the key.
Boy, I tell you what, they say he's not a playmaker, but he certainly has fooled me with the way he's performing right now.
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
And he just went off in those first 2 quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
We've got Reggie Jackson. Johnson is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Andre Drummond. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy. Paul for 3. Paul missing again. Passes it to Drummond. Up top, Morris. Outside, Jackson. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And Detroit has possession. After the missed 3 from Jamal Crawford. Ball's knocked loose. And stolen by Reddick. There's the bucket, good. Reddick's got 8. You look at Chris Paul, what a contribution.
He's definitely rolling offensively. You might not be able to stop him, but you've got to find a way to contain him.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Down low. And Jordan sends it back.
This offense's first miss after 3 straight makes to start the second half.
Prigioni, that's good.
Great idea to pull up and take the transition 3 there. The D was in position to block his path to the hoop if he took it inside.
Now here's Jackson. 6 points for him. Johnson against Johnson. Johnson attacking. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range.
Morris into the lane.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, you know, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Jackson, that's good.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this. You know, you'd love to see him pull that off, but instead he goes from highlight reel to the bloopers.
Dishes it to Rivers. Here's Prigioni. Johnson with the block. Morris kicks to Jackson. Johnson outside. Stolen by Pierce. Johnson down low. Johnson's there. Stayed with it, but they couldn't get it to fall. Meeks with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Here's Drummond. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Takes a 3. Johnson missing again. Pistons trailed by 11. Jackson kicks to Drummond. Here's Johnson. Here's Jordan. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
6 on the shot clock. Here's Jackson. Sinks the three-pointer. Jackson's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Johnson dishes to Prigioni. Johnson, the pass to Prigioni. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Los Angeles on top, up by 10. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Pistons trailed by 10. Setting the floor for the Clippers. Here's out there with Johnson. And it's Rivers. Then there's DeAndre Jordan. And it's Prigioni in at the 2 spot. And Los Angeles guys shooting at 50% in a decent groove. Here's Pierce. Tries again. And it's sent back by Drummond. Here's Johnson. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Here's Jackson. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
And they're just raining threes on both ends.
Boy, I love the answer. You come at me with the three, I'm coming right back with my own triple.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right. Whoa! Nasty. We got a ball game now, fellas, no doubt about it. I'm sensing a major momentum swing after the steal and run out.
Yeah, and little sequences like that can change the complexion of a game. Suddenly, the pressure now on the team with the lead.
And to look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Clippers.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
Yeah, but I also like the balance because they're doing a great job of getting inside and converting around the rim. I really like their aggressiveness.
He dishes it to Drummond. And now here's Rivers, the fast break opportunity. And Wesley Johnson with the slam.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He didn't exactly take it easy on them, saying, how much do you want it? Don't tell me, show me out there. We have to play better. We have to play harder if we're going to come back. Guys?
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
And now both teams really in a groove.
This game already, guys, was high scoring, but they've really amped and ramped it up to another level down the stretch.
To the paint, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
A little bit of a magic act here, pulling off the Houdini to make that catch and slam.
Stupendous alley-oop.
I think the crowd is still stunned by that one.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Blake with it, defended by Paul. And Drummond kicks to Blake. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. The offensive rebound. Drummond. And he pings it home with one hand.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then fouls it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback.
Got a pigeon on the
Oh, my word. Now, I have seen it all.
Are you sure? Maybe he has even more tricks up his sleeve.
Fellas, if he's got a better dunk than that one, I want to see it.
Snatched up. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaking. A different look here for Detroit. Morris is checked in for Tolliver. Johnson comes in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jackson in for Steve Blake. Crawford with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. Now Detroit moving it up. Jackson's got the ball. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up. That's good from Johnson. Los Angeles leading by 5. Left side, Griffin. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. And that'll be his third foul so far. 1:11 left here in the fourth quarter. And here's Green outside. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. Here's Paul. Crawford outside. Pocket 6. And the pass to Johnson. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. It falls. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. Here is Paul. Guys, this possession could decide their fate.
So that means they've got to be very careful with the basketball right now.
Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Detroit with the ball. Jackson is doubled. Out left to the wing. Drummond is just to Morris. Second chance shot. He hits the first, and that brings them within 2 here. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Tries to keep it alive. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. And the Pistons making a change here. Meeks is checked in. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth.
What a bucket at one of the more crucial moments of the game.
How about the cool, collected way in which he delivered it? Clutch.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They trailed by 3. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And there's still time left, so they don't necessarily have to go for the 3. A quick, easy bucket inside will do.
Well, I think the clock's a little short here for that. I mean, I'm not quite sold on the quick 2. I think they've got to look for a quality 3 to try to tie this thing up based on where the clock is right now.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
That last free throw was critical. Their only choice now is to go for the 3 to tie.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're down by 3. There's 18 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, what do you think?
And you know what? You got a couple options here. You can take the 3 to tie it or get the quick 2 and then a foul.
And, you know, if it opens up for them inside, the quick 2, the way I would lean, Greg, but the foul has to come immediately after that.
Feeds to Bullock. Here's Drummond.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
He hits the first one, and that brings them within 2 here. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Paul for 3. Takes a 3. It's off. So it's Los Angeles taking the W in a close one. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
Siamo fragili, se tutti ci toccano, siamo fatti di sogni che non ci fanno dormire.
Io non dormo quando ti penso, io non dormo e basta e compenso. Io lo so che siamo uniti, se a capirsi basta il silenzio. Senza te sarai nel vuoto, mentre insieme siamo immortali. Baby, accelero la moto, chiudi gli occhi e spegni i fanali. Vedi, noi siamo la luce insieme, il male che produce il bene. La notte abbassa lo sguardo, che guardarci non gli conviene. Siamo il bianco e siamo il nero, siamo Dio che appare davvero. Siamo piccoli e perfetti, come il mondo visto dal cielo.
Siamo fragili, se tutti ci toccano, siamo fatti di sogni che non ci fanno dormire, cose che non si possono dire. Insieme siamo l'inizio e la fine. E la fine.
Per te cammino sulle mine, per te passo questo confine, portando nel bagagliaio cose che non ti posso dire. La mia vita è un film come al cine, io te poli opposti al caline. Solo tu mi rilassi alla fine, solo tu mi rilasci endorfine. Non mi fido delle altre bambine, siamo unici tigri albine. Sotto le mie rime e la nostra vita è musica, quindi rappo sopra il tuo battito. E quanta gente ci giudica, nessuno coglie quest'attimo. Sognavo che ero innocente, ma poi mi sono svegliato e tu non c'eri per niente e restavo il tipo sbagliato.
Siamo fragili, se tutti ci toccano, siamo fatti di sogni che non ci fanno dormire, cose che non si possono dire. Insieme siamo l'inizio e la fine. E la fine.
Ci cerchiamo come animali, a piedi nudi come i gitani, contro il mondo con le mani, come se non ci fosse un domani. Ora siamo pronti a tutto, a cose che non possiamo dire, a sogni che non fanno dormire. Noi siamo l'inizio e la fine.
Non devo guardare il cielo per capire da dove piove. Se mi cerchi sono già altrove, indirizzo nuvola 9. Io che ti ho coperta d'oro nei nostri giorni preziosi, ed ora piango sangue e gli dei sono tutti invidiosi.
Siamo fragili, se tutti ci toccano, siamo fatti di sogni che non ci fanno dormire, cose che non si possono dire. Insieme siamo l'inizio e la fine.
Super. Future. I come looking for you with Haitians. I stay from good Jamaican. From different races. You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
We hating on rich as a 100K I spent that on my wrist. $200 spent that on your model, put that on my list. Oh, there he going that foreign again. In the scene, bring the core in the end. We should have wrote. The ring go, I won't call her again. Woke up early this morning. Crib as big as a college. Me up under the loudest. Whipping some with no mileage. Diamonds cost me a fortune. Them horses all in them Porsches. Can't handle afford it. 4,200 my mortgage. Falling on my Corbett. You haters, you bore me. Only the real get a piece of the plate. Repping my city and running my state. Keep me up, through they run with the. One piece, then I visit your place. Bang.
I come looking for you with Haitians. I stay no good Jamaican. From different races. You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
And I'm at it again. There go that flow, bringing tragedy in. Cop me a chain, your salary spent. Just we bring them cavities in. Counting money, hourly trend. Letting them seem like Olsen twins. Squares, cabinet bins. Neck full of gold, Olympian. Demons, I'm blowing the check on the gear. Falling soon, then hop on the leer. Strap with them poppers in back of the rear. Sock passe, them is here. Woke up early this morning. Mine is telling me money. Paper, moolah. Pockets as fat as a tumor. Millionaire, no rumor. Living my life off a tuna. Want it with me, I deliver the beef. Ribs only enjoying the feast. Pull up a seat, bon appetit. No Louboutins when they're red on your sleeves. Bang, 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 bang.
I come looking for you with Haitians. I stay from good Jamaican. From different races. You get money, they start